Alright, well, we're back for the third segment, and as we can see, we have the transmission filter off, and you can actually see where the magnets were touching on the filter. And I'll show it to you. You can actually see where the magnets that were in the pan are touching the oil filter, because it obviously extends down. And remember this bolt hole was the long bolt hole. These two were the shorter ones. And to illustrate, what we'll do is, and you have to be careful with this, is why I'm showing you this. It's not a big difference. Look at that. That is not a big difference at all. So you want to go ahead, after you've done taking them out and segregate them, okay, go and line them up next to each other to make sure that you're not putting the wrong bolt in the wrong hole. And this is what she looks like with the filter out, okay? And I went ahead and took my brake cleaner. I actually used carb cleaner, it really doesn't matter. I used carb cleaner because my transmission gasket was really bad, if you look at it. That is not. It should just peel right off of there. So don't let my gasket deter you from doing yours, okay? And in fact, I almost was like, oh, how am I going to put it back on there again? Because I didn't think about how I took it off because I was scraping it. I got news for you. The pattern is right there on the back, okay? The pattern is right there on the back. So you just go ahead, it's very self-explanatory, and put on the new gasket. Just make sure that it lines up with the holes I'm going to show you in a second. But I would like to go ahead and give a shout out to a few more veterans that I serve with as we continue to go along with this. A hello to Carlos Herrera, a big hello to Daniel Sigaloff, and Eric Siemens, and Andy Connolly, and George Natvig, just to name a few. And, oh yeah, Jeremy Harmon, Sergeant Burdell, Specialist Casey, De Los Santos, and Malachi Jackson. Some of these people are actually on Facebook with me. I wanted to give them a shout out to honor them for their service. Bruce McAfee, who can forget Bruce McAfee, an awesome American and great guy and good friend. Okay, and so here we go. And so what I did was I had to, because my gasket was so bad, I had to go and get the brake cleaner and my scraping tool and scrape that off. It was especially bad around the holes. So what I'm saying is, whether your gasket is good or bad, what you need to do is make sure that you clean it off really good around this groove and around the bolt holes. So I'm going to show you real quick how to line this up. See what shape this is in. Let me take a break from that for a second, and we will go ahead and put the filter back on. I'll go ahead and put my camera down right here. Put my other glove back on. Take this filter out. And I'll show you here in a minute. I got very lucky. And there was some noise. There was some noise earlier, so I wanted to make it absolutely positively affirmative that all the bolts for the transmission pan and for the filter, it's all a 10mm socket. They're all 10mm sockets. So all we're going to do here is we're going to take the old filter and we're going to put the new filter on. Very simple. And as you can see right here, I got very lucky, as I was going to say earlier, that this part right here was very clean. I didn't have to do much cleaning at all on that. So yours may be dirty, it may need cleaning, it may not. You want to take the longer bolt and stick it into this hole right here. Let's get that sucker on there. Oh yeah, another veteran that I served with, Brian Patrick Thompson. Specialist Weathers. Sergeant Nodin. Sergeant Thomas Smith. And as my veteran friends are listening to this, the ones that watch this video, they're going to think it's pretty neat that I'm calling out the names of the guys that were in our unit. So this is V. Patel. V's my boss, one of my bosses over at Enterprise. This is how we replace the transmission filter. You don't do anything to it, you just screw it right on in there. Starting to feel it get tense. And the one thing you got to make sure that you do when you do this job, whether it's a rubber filter or if it's a cork filter or whatever, you do not tighten it down very hard. You do not tighten it down very hard. See, I'm looking at my angle and there ain't a whole lot that you can actually see me doing. I might have hit it. You can see there it is right there. One thing about the videos is I've already watched them. There's a couple spots where the shot's off center, but I'm not going to go back and fix that. It's my very first time doing this, videotaping an auto repair, and it's actually my very first time ever doing this. I have never ever changed the transmission filter on this car, transmission gasket on this car or any car. This is my very first time doing this, and all I did was I watched a YouTube video for another make and model for another year. Yep, I've never done this job, period, and I've never done it on this car. So you're walking through it with me, I'm walking with it with you for the very first time.